And now it is my pleasure to reintroduce our guest speaker today, Seminarian Andrew Frantz.
It's my pleasure to share with you this song written by Hugh Blumenfeld. It's called The Message. Get the message from the mountain, bring back down the key. Get the message from the river, you bring a gift of peace. Get the message from the forest, you're golden like the fall. Must be 100 times I have heard this call. And I know if I find my own way that the world will follow behind like a ship's trail in the sea. I know if I find my own way, the world will follow behind like a ship's trail in the sea. Get the promise from the people, sing a hopeful song. Get the promise from the needle and you won't be singing long. Get the promise from your lover, give it back again. But no story ever says what happens then. And I know if I find my own way that the world will follow behind like a ship's trail in the sea. If I find my own way, the world will follow behind like a ship's trail in the sea. Get the word from brother sun, dancing in the light. Get the word from sister moon, running naked in the night. Get the word, get it any way you can. That's the only road I understand. And I know if I find my own way that the world will follow behind like a ship's tail in the sea. I know if I find my own way, the world will follow behind like a ship's trail in the sea. I know if I find my own way in the world, yes I know if I find my own way in the world, yes I know if I find my own way. Thank you. Hugh Blumenfeld is the author of that song, and I think you can maybe see how it fits in with our story this morning. Isn't that what Mr. Plumbean did? He found his own way in the world, and in doing so, he led his neighbors to do the same. I sort of think of that as this moment that we're having now. I'm Mr. Plumbean, and we're having lemonade in my front yard. I think there was something magic in the lemonade. Because every time people went to talk to him and had that lemonade, what did they do? They went home and followed his example and followed their own dreams. So my theme is about doing the work and finding your passion. To identify what is it in life that you are most passionate about. What's your deepest purpose in life? So that's the question I ask the kids, right? What would your house look like? But I'm asking you in more sophisticated terms. What would it look like for you to articulate your purpose in life, your deepest passion? What would it look like for you to articulate that maybe today after service when we're having coffee to someone in this safe community? What would it look like for you to speak your deepest passion and your purpose in life to the person who's most beloved and dearest and closest to you? And what would it look like for you to look yourself in the mirror where truth is told and to tell yourself, this is what I'm passionate about in life, this is my purpose in life? I have the blessing of being part of a men's group, and we meet once every 2 weeks. We have a 3-hour meeting in a circle. It's part of the organization called Mankind Project. And in that circle, a lot of magic happens. It's emotional work, it's personal growth work, and through that work, I've come to articulate my own mission in life, and it's this. My mission is to create a world of harmony by taking care of myself, sharing love with all people, and working for justice. I create a world of harmony by taking care of myself, sharing love with all people, and working for justice. Now, knowing and articulating my purpose in life and then living it out sometimes are two different things, right? So that's what I call integrity, is when I'm in alignment with my mission on a daily basis. When I share a beautiful song with a group of people, I'm in integrity with my mission in life. When I dare to wear my Black Lives Matter button, even though it makes me uncomfortable out in the world sometimes, then I'm in integrity with my mission in life. And a lot of times I make daily choices where I'm not in integrity, right? Where I'm not living out my mission. I'm going to share my life story in brief because so that's the day-to-day choices that make me in integrity. And I'm going to talk about a big choice, which is going into ministry and how that's in integrity with my mission in life. But I'm going to go back about 26 years ago when I had a different mission in life. In 1990, that's when I was graduating from college. And my purpose in life was to be a teacher. I knew that's what I wanted to be. That's what I had always wanted to be. And is there a higher purpose in life? William Ellery Channing is one of our Unitarian forebears from the 1800s. And this quote is still the signature line on my email. He said, "There is no office higher than that of a teacher of youth, for there is nothing on earth so precious as the mind, soul, character of a child." Who are my teachers in the room? So that was my purpose in life, and I taught for 10 years. And again, if I need to articulate it further, to the beautiful mission of taking a community of youngsters and making it a community, a safe community, in my case, exploring literature and poetry with that group, finding beauty and truth. That was my purpose in life. I did it for 10 years, and then I was tired of doing it. So the next crossroads in my life was in 2002, when I moved from Massachusetts to Ohio. My kids were little. Dallin was in first grade. Noah was in preschool. And my new purpose then was to be a dad. So I gave up teaching. I was a stay-at-home dad for a while. Then I worked part-time for the next many years, but that was my purpose. And again, how can there be a higher purpose than that? There is nothing on earth so precious as the mind, soul, character of a child. And so for me to raise my own children and to spend as much time with them as I could, that was my purpose. And then I came to another crossroads in life. This was about 4 years ago, 2012. I decided it was time to move on. My kids were almost grown up at that point. They were in high school, so I could sort of see that this part of my life was transitioning to a different thing. And I wanted to do the next thing. At that point, I considered ministry and rejected the idea. I looked into ministry because I thought, I've given services before in my home church. I always seem to feel pretty good doing it, and I have other gifts that might make me a good minister. But it's what? It's a 3-year master's program, full-time, and it's to get ordained, and then I probably, to get a job, I might have to move to a different community or a different state. I can't do that. I've got a wife, and we're settled here. So I rejected the notion of ministry at that time and chose instead the path of being a school principal, similar to my earlier calling. But to be a principal, one can influence the feeling of the whole school, right? And influence, support the teachers. That's what I had in mind. I got my principal degree. I did a lot of interviews for teacher jobs, for principal jobs, and didn't get the jobs. And so, the reason for that is, I find, is that who I am is more suited for ministry. Who I am is compassionate, spiritual, thinking outside the box. Who do you want as your middle school principal? Decisive, rule following. But it was a good experience. That brings me to very recently, last winter, when I got the aha moment. The call to ministry that you hear about. This was my call. It was facilitated by this book. Of course, being at another crisis point in my life, getting a divorce, my kids are about to go to college, the principal thing isn't working out. What did I do? I went and got a self-help book. And it was this one, and this book actually triggered what was waiting for me to be ready for ministry. It's called I Could Do Anything If I Only Knew What It Was, by Barbara Sher. I'll just paraphrase a couple ideas from this. One is that most of us have these different crossroads points in our lives, right? Due to illness, maybe divorce, our kids grow up, things change, right? And she said that in order to move forward, sometimes we have to look backwards and embrace and celebrate the selves that we were before. Powerful idea. And so for me, that meant reliving and letting myself celebrate and also grieve the fact that I'm not going to be a parent of little children anymore. That was so awesome. There was nothing like that, holding my children by the hand, walking them to kindergarten. But that's gone. So I have to let that go. Similarly, I was a principal briefly. I had a 6-month job as an interim principal of a middle school, and I loved it. I was in my power when I was there. I wore the suit and tie every day. I felt like I was making a difference, in the hallway, greeting the teachers every day, maintaining order, dealing with all these crises. And so the idea of ministry came to me again last winter, as I just alluded to. Now I'm getting divorced, so that logistical reason isn't there anymore. It's whatever I decide, I can do it. And it really felt like one of these moments when I have to follow my heart. My mission, as I articulated it to you, I already had that. I knew what my mission was. And so this felt like one of those chances in life when I could make a decision that was really, truly, deeply for me. And last Christmas, I'll share this little experience. I was considering ministry, also full of doubt and fear. And one of my sisters in ministry from seminary is in the house today, so that's why I'm looking at her with such a meaningful glance. And I was considering it, but still full of doubt and fear. And I went for a walk, and I imagined, literally, 2 of my selves, Mr. Frantz, the principal, walking alongside me, and Reverend Andrew, the minister, walking over here. And I allowed the principal self to speak, and that part of me gave permission to let go and to follow this other path. And it was also clear in that moment that the principal part of me was something I was trying hard to be and to do, trying hard and trying to succeed. And the minister part of me felt like allowing myself to be who I already am. My friends, I'm not suggesting that you all quit your jobs and go into ministry. Nor am I dissuading you, because you have to follow your own path. This idea of, the central idea is to know what it is that's your mission and purpose in life. And then to once you articulate that, maybe to a friend at coffee hour, maybe to your most beloved and dear companion in life, maybe to yourself in the mirror, this is my purpose in life. Then to see how is it that you can make a change in your life or take a step to live more fully into that mission. We sang earlier the hymn that included the all-important 5th verse. Wake now my vision of ministry clear. Brighten my pathway with radiance here. Mingle my calling with all who will share work toward a planet transformed by our care. We all have ministry, not just those of us who are trying to do it for a living. Ministry is how we work in the world, broadly defined, right? So, for me to mingle my calling with all of you all who share work toward a planet transformed by our care, that's what I'm all about this morning. And in a moment, we're going to sing another hymn which has this beautiful line about commitment and passion. When our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. May each of us find the passion within ourselves, our purpose in life, knowing that it may change. May each of us have the boldness to move towards that passion in life. And may we support each other in doing this. May it be so.